Hi, Una from Unique New Adventure Limited. It's been a while since I've told a story on Saturday, so I got this urge to tell a story. I've been thinking quite a lot about what's coming up quite soon. I am an international humanitarian and I started my own business, Unique New Adventure Limited, to rejoice our differences through education. And I believe learning from stories is education. Now, I've told a number of stories and I've dedicated a number of stories to a number of friends. But this story I want to dedicate to everyone who is taking part in the Refugee Ration Challenge on the 13th of September to the 19th. 7 days, we have all decided to put others first, refugees first, and to consume the food rations that refugees eat and are expected to eat across 7 days. It's a very, very difficult challenge, both physically and mentally. And this story is quite apt. I just wanted to dedicate it to everyone who's doing it. Always thinking about others. Those refugees who are living in camps, not by choice. No one decides to become a refugee. No one. And there are too many across the world. So this is for my fellow challengers who are taking on the Refugee Challenge. So thank you. Okay. Thursday, 28th of March, day 2, prep. I'm still in Afghanistan, by the way. Day 2 in Sheboygan. Have breakfast with the team, which is lovely, but a little bit frustrating for me due to the language barrier. Hand gestures and role plays help. We have some laughs. I swap teams for a change and get going. Sadly, throughout the morning, I see for the first time in person some sick, malnourished children. Also different from a picture in a book, as I didn't appreciate the severity and smells or see the distress of the mother. I will write a report as these children are not part of the survey, but can't be left either. The first one is the hardest. When I enter the house, I know something isn't right. I have a strong sixth sense. There is an atmosphere that I can't quite work out. After I remove my shoes, as usual, the team leader introduces the team and me to the head of the household. A man this time. And in most cases, a man. He explains what we are here to do. He walks us into their living area, and I see worry across the man's face. One I have not seen before. As I move to sit down on a mat on the floor, as I always do, I sit on my knees as it is easier to get up. Out comes a mother from another part of the house, holding a very small, quiet baby, swaddled in blankets, lifeless almost. I see the same worry across her weather-beaten face, and know then it must be about the baby. I'm not a mother myself, but I'm an auntie to a healthy boy, my eldest sister's son, and I know her look when he isn't well. The mother's look is more poignant now, as I am sitting in a man-made mud hut with no running water, no electricity, and no central heating. The family, like thousands of families across Afghanistan, in the remote areas, have no access to free healthcare, and this mother, who has grown this child in her womb, has given birth to her child in a very limited health clinic, if not at home, has fed him from her breast, is now cradling him anxious and worried about the future. As we need to measure the child, both his height and weight, we first verify the child's age. I am shown the ID card with the child's name and date of birth on it. I am shocked when I am told the child is almost 1, as I thought he was too young, under 6 months, to take part. I of course disguise my shock, as I don't want to further worry the parents or offend. Slowly and carefully, the ladies in the team remove the blankets and clothes from the child. I can see the child is getting smaller and smaller as this is done. Finally, the child is in his nappy, material nappy, as disposable nappies don't exist here. It is crying without tears or sound I notice first. The child's mouth is open, but there is no sound coming out. There are no tears coming out of the child's eyes either. I then notice the protruding bones from his back and the extremely thin arms and legs. I see sagging skin. I notice the old man's typical face of a malnourished child right in front of me, not in a book. I see the sunken eyes. I am shocked and taken back, but keep this all in. A miracle of life, and he is so thin and frail. I don't want to touch him, as I think I would break him. The team leader goes into doctor mode very quickly and checks over the boy, and we measure him with his mother on the mother and baby weighing scales. A very clever invention from UNICEF. The mother stands on. It is tired to 0. Then the child is handed over to her. This is done very quickly, yet very calmly, as the child is cold, and we don't want to distress the child or family any more than we need. The baby is then dressed again, and then his height is taken using a height board. The ladies this time step into action and take the child off the mother and gently lay him down on a board to measure him. He doesn't move much, but the ladies still need to hold his head at the top of the wooden board and straighten his legs out to get an accurate measurement. Again, this is done very quickly and without any judgment to the family. After the child is handed over to the mother, the team sit down and calculate the Z score for the child. We all know without calculating that he is malnourished. The team leader, the doctor, asks the questions from the questionnaire about the health vaccinations, food security, and how much food they have to last for up to 3 months. I speak to the leader and explain what can be done, inform him of the feeding programs nearby and what the family could do, as I'm not going to demand they do anything. It is not my place to force anyone to do anything. I don't want this information translated, as it is too serious, so I leave the leader to inform, and I bow my head and listen to him speak. He is so calm and kind, it is beautiful to hear, even though I have no idea what he's saying. I feel out of my comfort zone. I feel sad. Seeing malnourished children on my professor's slides in Aberdeen in Scotland is so far removed from the real thing. It is hard to see, and I hold back the tears for the child and the parents. On leaving the house, one of the ladies knows I'm finding this hard and puts her hand around my shoulders. At this point, I let out a gasp and some tears, but I make sure the family does not see me. I'm wearing my sunglasses, so they are disguised. I'm told this is the way sometimes, Miss Una, but I think to myself, it shouldn't be. It's a child, a miracle of life. And on we go to the next house. Work continues. Sadly, I say this time and time again, and each time is still a shock, as each time it is still a child, a life. On we go. The team setup doesn't change, 3 ladies and 1 man, but I move around to get to know them, but also to make sure everyone knows what to do, as this is only the practice run. The team members are all highly skilled, so it isn't a problem. Take some pictures with the team, and with some women crouching down beside a green bush in the middle of the village. Greenery is a rarity here. Wow, the green looks so vibrant against the brown mud road. Things I take for granted coming from Ireland, as there is greenery all over the place. The green Emerald Isle. Work for a few hours and stop for lunch. We're all invited to the village elder's house for food. What an honour. As you do here, we sit on the floor on mats with our legs crossed, and the food is placed in front of us on top of a tablecloth. Typically, there is no cutlery, as you eat with your right hand. A child from the village leader's family walks around the room with a metal jug and basin and a bar of soap for us to wash our hands before the meal, and then comes back when we are finished. The men and women sit separately here to eat today. I sit with the men as an honorary international man. That wasn't always the case. Learn another new thing today. During lunch, I am the farthest away from the door, which means, in Afghanistan, that I am the most important person in the room, over and above the village leader, and it is his house. This is an honour, but then it also means there is nowhere to hide, as everyone can see me eat. I never develop good skill eating habits with my hands, so I was always offered a spoon. Once my colleague's mother fed me with her hand when I went to their house in Mazar, as I was that bad. It is hard. The food is amazing, traditional, like home in Mazar, and lots of it. Head back to work after lunch. Thank goodness for my elasticated waistband. A large lunch and heat are not a good combination. See some more thin women. The harsh reality of my job, which is tough, especially after I ate enough for two, probably over lunch. Tomorrow is the weekend, Friday here, so we all head back to Mazar after a couple of hours. I, of course, thank the village leaders and the villagers and tell them we will be back on Saturday. Back at the office, I sort the paperwork for Saturday and head home, full, tired, and a little bit sad. Back at the ranch in Mazar, we all chat and chill and offload. Today was hard, seeing that child. Tomorrow is a day off, shattered and in need of my bed, or should I say mattress. I head off for sleep. That's it. That's one of my stories, dedicated, as I said, to all my ration challengers, putting ourselves second and others first for refugees across the world. It's an emotional story. I'm a mother now. I wasn't then. It was hard. It is hard. But it was my job that I chose. And I can only hope and pray that the children I met and the families that would refer to an eating program went, and the children survived. I don't know. So that's me, my Saturday afternoon storytelling at home, in the comfort of my home, in the safety of my home, with a house full of food and water, running water from my taps, hot and cold, electricity from my lights, heat, security, so on and so forth. So that's me. I will keep sharing. I enjoy telling the stories. It brings me right back to where I was. That's why I'm writing my book. It's a legacy. It's to pass on this learning. It's to create a book of what it was really like for anybody who wishes to maybe embark on this as a career. It's tough, but it's also so very, very rewarding. So I hope you enjoyed that story. And I know I was asked some questions when I had my last question time with my son Zayn. A friend of mine sent me some questions, so I'll do that. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about that. This is something separate that I take my time and tell a story on Saturday. So listen, have a lovely weekend, and you'll hear from me soon. Bye for now. Una Family New Adventure Limited.